So, you're about to open Ryan Sutton's book, She Remains in All My Spaces, for the very first time. Let me just tell you right now, you're not just picking up a collection of poems. You are stepping into a living, breathing archive of a shared life. Think of this explainer as your companion, a compassionate guide to the raw realities of love, grief, and family you're about to dive into. We're going to break down the core themes so your heart is truly ready for the profound journey ahead.
How do you prepare your heart to read a story of profound love and devastating loss? It's a heavy question, right? Well, to brace for this beautiful tragedy, we've got to start with the absolute anchor of the whole narrative. And honestly, it isn't about grand gestures or sweeping movie-style moments. No, as we'll see, the beating heart of this book is the simple, profound power of just being there, physical presence.
Take this quote, for example. Why do you love him? Because he's here. Back in the summer of 1997, Ryan's mom asked Maureen that exact question. And without missing a beat, Maureen said, because he's here. It actually turned into this lifelong inside joke between them. But the weight of those words, wow, it sets the entire foundation of their relationship. This was a love built on unwavering, consistent support. He showed up for her, and because of that, she could completely trust him.
Section 1. Two embers become one. Let's rewind a bit. Before the family, before the house, they were just two embers floating in the wind, trying to catch a spark in a totally digital frontier. A 1995 dial-up cyber chat room. Remember those? If we look at the timeline, they really started as two self-described broken people hiding behind screen names. I mean, they lived 404 miles apart. But through thousands of typed words, they navigated some incredibly heavy stuff. Childhood traumas, depression, and Maureen's really terrifying nighttime seizures. All of that digital vulnerability eventually led to a nervous first meeting, and finally, their first kiss in May of 1996.
There's this moment where the intimacy just leaps off the page. Ryan screams, "Yezkez Sarum M," which means, "I love you." He actually learns to express his love in Maureen's native Armenian tongue. For Maureen, who was a proud Armenian woman whose family fled violence in Lebanon, this was everything. This was the moment his devotion proved absolute. He literally screamed it to show he wasn't going to run away from her medical struggles. He was absolutely all in.
Moving on to building the literal foundation. When you start reading the early poems, you're going to notice these gorgeous metaphors about erecting cranes and smashing walls to become one. But what's truly fascinating, the raw, gritty reality behind those words. Check out this comparison. We have the metaphor of twisted sheetrock and then the reality, wielding sledgehammers. Their poetic love was grounded in literal sweat and dust. In January 1999, Maureen's dad handed them sledgehammers, masks, and goggles, and just said, "Gnaw," which means go. So for months, they're swinging hammers, tearing down stubborn lath and plaster, totally covered in gray dust, gutting and rebuilding a small house behind her parents' place. And get this, they moved into that very house on their wedding night. That grit under their fingernails, that was the true foundation of their marriage.
Next up, the family we made. Their love was incredibly strong, but the beautiful, really hard-fought journey to parenthood was about to test them in entirely new ways. You are our first miracle. We tried every day for a year. The book absolutely does not shy away from the intense medical hurdles of creating their family. They wanted kids so desperately. Maureen writes to her youngest son about the terrifying fear of miscarriages and finding out she had a factor V Leiden mutation, basically a condition that causes blood clots. To safely bring their sons Harmon and Elias into the world, Maureen had to inject her stomach every single day with 40 milligrams of blood thinners. It was literally a fight for life from day one.
Raising these boys was like holding a fragile, beautiful life inside a glass bulb. The text captures this magic perfectly through a recurring family motto, "We do this." What does that mean? It means they follow creeks, they roll 20-sided dice to battle Lego towers, and they deliberately pause life to just walk onto the deck and watch the sunset together. It's the pure warmth of their merged kingdom.
Section, The Storm of Sickness. Life changes fast, doesn't it? When you hit the poems from 2017, the narrative shifts so abruptly. We're forced into this jarring contrast between the warmth of family sunsets and the sterile, terrifying reality of cancer. It starts with a misdiagnosis, leading to emergency surgery, a colostomy bag, and the horrifying discovery of malignant tumors in Maureen's lymph nodes.
The poetry here is incredibly raw. It makes space for an unpolished, unflinching look at caretaking, outlining these jarring, daily colostomy routines. Ryan documents the precise steps: empty the pouch, Clean the stoma with warm water. Ignore the blood because it's normal. And throughout this trauma, he has to repeat a single mantra just to stay grounded. Breathe. It is not my pain. Wow. Just breathe.
This sensory juxtaposition is absolutely central to the book's power. On one hand, you have the romance, it's a date in the Valentine's suite. On the other, the reality, Dexa pills, PICC lines, and the overwhelming smell of chemo. It shows how they maintain their banter and profound connection even in the darkest moments. Imagine sitting 5 feet apart in a chemo suite for a Valentine's date, joking about who loves who more while intravenous cisplatin drips into your veins. They fought so hard to find the light in that room.
The vulnerability hits an absolute peak here. The prescription costs $787. That's how much it costs to kill myself. After a fierce 9-year battle, with every treatment formula exhausted, they have to call hospice. Maureen looks at the prescription for dignity in death and notes the exact price tag. But here's the thing, she ultimately refuses it. She chooses to hold on to her vision of an eternal garden filled with butterflies, making sure her final thoughts remain clear as she finally lets go.
Standing in the aftermath. We've arrived at the present day, standing on the other side of the end. The physical Maureen is gone. Now, Ryan has to navigate the crushing silence of grief in a house filled with her memories, her journals, and the lingering echoes of their shared life.
Part of navigating that grief means looking back. When we see these hand-drawn travel sketches of the Eiffel Tower and Notre Dame, we're reminded of the boundless, globe-trotting life they managed to build together. It's a stark, beautiful contrast to those later years where hospital beds and oxygen machines kind of took over.
We also feel the tangible weight of the aftermath through these incredibly moving secret letters Maureen left behind. She meticulously labeled them for Ryan to open on specific dates. In this handwritten birthday letter, she actually urges him to seek happiness, not to live alone, and even to remarry. And Ryan's raw, written response is just heartbreaking. I love her for this. I hate she did this. They keep me. Despite Maureen's wishes for him to move on, the text reveals Ryan's profound realization about his path forward. When his sons, who are now young men, take the lead, packing the gear and guiding him on hiking trails through the Sierra Nevada, he realizes exactly where his survival lies. He writes, "They keep me." His sons are his true, enduring anchor to the world.
So when you finish this book, you must ask yourself, did you take more than you gave? As you turn that first page and step into Maureen and Ryan's world today, carry the thoughts from this explainer with you. Let their sledgehammers, their cyber chats, their unyielding presence in the face of absolute terror deeply move you. And when you close the back cover, reflect on the Macklemore lyric Ryan includes at the very end. Ask yourself, in the spaces you occupy, with the people you love, did you take more than you gave? Read the book, and let their incredible journey completely change you.